What's up, guys? Now we're gonna review this question copy. Now if you haven't watched the previous videos, that's fine, but at least I want you to watch this video and the next videos that I'm gonna post regarding the question copies, the past papers, because they're really important. Also, before we start the clip, I want to note that I've recently created a Telegram group and Telegram channel, and I'll put it in the description. So if you have any question, any suggestion, you can contact me there. Now let's look at question 1. Define blood platelets. The blood platelets are small, colorless, spherical or oval discs without a nucleus. In mammals, they are called platelets, and the diameter of the blood platelets is 2 to 4 micrometers, and the average lifespan of the blood platelets in humans is 9 to 10 days. Large macrophages phagocytize the blood platelets in the liver, spleen, and bone marrow, and blood platelets serve the function of releasing the enzyme thromboplastin, which plays a very important role in blood coagulation, and they also contain serotonin, which plays in constricting small blood vessels. So when you get a definition question, you try to mention everything you know about the blood platelets. So, like, what are they? How do they look like? What is the diameter? What is the lifespan, the average lifespan? What are their functions? Where do we call platelets in mammals? Okay, we don't call them thrombocyte like in the lower vertebrates, like in amphibians and birds. And also in question 1b, they're telling you to write down the characteristics of smooth muscles. And there are 5 items we have to talk about. So the smooth muscles, or the smooth muscle fibers, are spindle-shaped with 2 pointed ends, and they're thicker in the middle and taper at both ends. Each muscle fiber is covered by a membrane called sarcolemma, and the cell has one or single central nucleus. The action of the muscle is involuntary, and smooth muscles are located in the walls of the stomach, intestines, blood vessels, and other internal hollow organs. Question 1c is telling you to draw with labeling the stratified columnar epithelial tissue. Question 2c is telling you what are the differences between the xylem tissue and the phloem tissue in terms of components and functions. Now look at this. So, if you don't know where to begin, just remember that each tissue contain their own components. So in xylem, the xylem components are xylem vessels, tracheids, xylem fibers, xylem parenchyma. In the phloem tissue, we have sieve tubes, companion cells, phloem fibers, and phloem parenchyma. And of course, you want to talk about the functions, and you want to talk about the fact that the xylem vessels can differentiate, but no differentiation occur in phloem tissue or in sieve tubes. Question 3 is telling you to justify or explain that the skeletal muscle or skeletal muscles are also called striated muscles, because the skeletal muscle fiber shows alternating dark and light crossbands, giving it a striated appearance. For this reason, it is called striated muscle. In question 4, telling you what is the importance or function for each of the following. The chondromucin. The chondromucin is responsible for the firmness of the cartilage tissue and making it resistant to pressure and tension. And plant's epidermis, we're just going to mention that plant's epidermis is responsible for protection, regulation of gas exchange in stems and leaves, and the absorption of water and dissolved salts and roots. As I told you, the epidermis is like the skin because it's the outer protective layer. So, of course, you're going to remember the fact that it is protective. it performs protection. So there's no way you're gonna forget the fact that plant's epidermis performs protection. And also you wanna remember that it also performs the regulation of gas exchange in stems and leaves and the absorption of water and dissolved salts in the roots. Question 5 is telling you who is responsible for formation of the antibodies. Now, the formation of antibodies, it's the plasma cells. Okay, plasma cells is responsible or are responsible for the formation of antibodies. Question 6 is telling you to list only types of loose connective tissue. This is only listing, meaning I don't have to talk about any details. I'm just going to mention their names. And there are 5 tissues. We have areolar connective tissue, adipose connective tissue, mesenchymal connective tissue, reticular connective tissue, and mucoid connective tissue. Question 6 is telling you also to give an example for cells predominant to neurons. Okay, this is some weird phrasing, weird choice of words, just to make you confused. But the answer is simple. The answer is neuroglial cells. Okay, we said that the neuroglial cells are more than neurons, and they make up more than half of the brain volume.